Dum-dum, beedle-dum-dum, beedle-dum-dum, beedle-dum-dum. There was a turtle by the name of Bert, and Bert the turtle was very alert. When danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked and covered, ducked and covered.
You may be in your schoolyard playing when the signal comes. That signal means to stop whatever you are doing and get to the nearest safe place fast. Always remember, a flash of an atomic bomb can come at any time, no matter where you may be.
Remember what to do, friends. Now tell me right out loud. What are you supposed to do when you see the flash?
Duck and cover, duck and cover, duck and cover.
A civil defense siren, also known as an air raid siren or tornado siren, is a siren used to provide emergency population warning of approaching danger, and sometimes to indicate when the danger has passed. Some, that are mostly located in small towns, are also used to call the volunteer fire department to go fight a fire. Initially designed to warn of air raids in World War II, they were adapted to warn of nuclear attack and of natural destructive weather patterns such as tornadoes. The generalized nature of the siren led to many of them being replaced with more specialized warnings, such as the emergency alert system. A mechanical siren generates sound by spinning a slotted chopper wheel to interrupt a stream of air at a regular rate. Modern sirens can develop a sound level of up to 135 decibels at 100 feet 30 meters. The Chrysler Air Raid siren, driven by a 331 cubic inch Chrysler Hemi gasoline engine, generates 138 decibel at 100 feet away. By use of varying tones or on slash-off patterns of sound, different alert conditions can be signaled. Electronic sirens can transmit voice announcements in addition to alert tone signals.
This week, severe weather in Green Country set off a lot of sirens, but not everyone knew how to react.
2 Works for You anchor Stephen Romo explains why your safety could be at risk.
When emergency sirens sound, they get mixed reaction. Some people ready to take cover, others comparing them to the boy who cried wolf. Either way, they're probably not something you think about until you hear them. Tulsa Area Emergency Management controls the sirens.
The main console that we activate.
Many people who hear the sirens think once they stop, that signals the threat is over. But that's not the case. Each sounding lasts for about 3 minutes. The sirens are meant to get your attention, primarily for people outside unsheltered. They are directing you to go inside and get more information from meteorologists on air or online. Now, the siren going off in Tulsa last night was the single tone alert. That's to tell residents about a tornado warning or possibly a chemical agent in the air. Either way, you'll want to get inside fast. There's also a siren to warn you about impending flooding. It's one many people have never heard. It sounds like this. And finally, the one I personally hope I never hear. It's the one to alert you about a nuclear attack.
We get confirmation from the Tulsa Weather Service and from others that we have an active tornado. They're issuing a tornado warning, and that's when we sound the sirens.
Stephen Romo, 2 Works for You.
Rude awakening for families in Lafayette. The tornado sirens went off at 3 o'clock this morning. People responded, jumping out of bed to take cover, and not happy to find out there was no warning. Lindsay Sablon says dispatch is blaming a computer glitch.
Imagine hearing this in the middle of the night, fast asleep.
I think my wife woke up first.
At 3 this morning, the tornado sirens went off in Lafayette.
Ran outside, looked around, it looked perfectly quiet. I thought, my first thought is, hey, there's a tornado going on.
With yesterday's severe weather, that's what many thought.
But my neighbor said that she woke up and got the kids up and was ready to head to the basement.
But the sirens were an accident. Boulder County Dispatch Center says it was fielding a call from Louisville.
Max, will give you a call shortly, okay?
While 911 operators were dispatching officers through the computer system, somehow the software also sent a notification to sound the tornado alarm in Lafayette.
So somehow something, we believe, in the background got mistranslated and the sirens went off.
The division chief tells 7 News they couldn't hear the sirens, so they didn't know what happened until they started getting calls.
Went back inside, hopped on the phone, called dispatch. They said, we don't really know what's going on there, but we're working on it.
It's unclear if all 7 sirens in the city were triggered, but dispatch is working with the software company TriTech to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Right now we also have software engineers doing a forensic analysis of the actual coding to figure out where the problem is.
Lindsay Sablon, 7 News.
Close call for residents of Lake Odessa last night. The tornado path cut just to the north and west of the Ionia County village.
But the town's early warning system, their tornado siren, it never sounded the alert. 24-hour News 8's Joe LaFurgey has this story from Lake Odessa.
A button at Ionia County's 911 center activates the tornado warning siren here at the Lake Odessa Fire and Rescue Building. Dispatchers hit the button last night, but the siren was silent.
We were actually sitting out on the porch when the rain started. We went back inside. We weren't watching any TV, so we didn't know anything was even going on other than the watches that we had gotten from the news channels.
As the mother of a child with special medical needs, having extra time to prepare for anything, including emergencies, is important to Courtney Whitaker. But when the brunt of the storm hit just a few miles to the west last night, there were no warning sirens sounding in Lake Odessa. Fortunately, she had her cell phone nearby.
And I heard the emergency alert go off from News 8 first. This would have happened 4 hours earlier and during a school event, and that alarm didn't go off and they didn't catch it right away. They would have seen it on their phones immediately. You know, it might have been too late.
The problem was on the Lake Odessa side of the system. Lake Odessa police say a radio receiver that activates the siren from Ionia's dispatch center failed last night.
It's a radio signal that triggers to all the surrounding tornado sirens in Ionia County, and the radio itself inside the siren is what failed.
The system is now back up and running. Ionia County Central Dispatch activates the sirens in Lake Odessa, along with the cities of Belding, Portland, Ionia, and Orleans Township. Firefighters in Clarksville, Saranac, Lyons, and Muir drive to the fire hall to activate their sirens. Ionia Central Dispatch officials say it appears the remainder of the county sirens did sound last night. But the experts say sirens are not always the best at warning people, especially if you're inside your home or a building. Ionia County Central Dispatch offers one option. Smart 911 allows residents to provide specific information on a voluntary basis on their household, stored in the 911 database, so dispatchers can save time if you call in an emergency. The system also offers an option for widespread emergencies like tornado warnings called rave alerts.
And what this is a mass notification system.
If your profile's in the Smart 911 system, a few clicks of the mouse signs you up for rave.
Anybody who's opted in, they can receive a text message, a voice message, or an email, any or all three, and it automatically dials all the landlines in the county.
Dispatchers can also limit the emergency messages to specific sections of the county. If you're an Ionia County resident and are interested in signing up for Smart 911 and the rave feature, we have all you need to know at woodtv.com. In Lake Odessa, Joe LaFurgey, 24-hour News 8.
So here we are in Dixon, Tennessee, with one of their tornado sirens. You come down, you follow this power line over here, and you notice that Romex wire. Now, with this Romex wire, you will notice it goes to a light switch, which has been turned off. That is how you put thousands of people's lives at risk.
In the aftermath of the tornado, concerned citizens took to social media to question why a city warning siren never sounded. The EF1 tornado determination was not made official by the National Weather Service until the afternoon of July 12th, when a survey team was deployed to the affected area. The NWS took to Twitter at 6:04 p.m. on the 12th to notify the public of their findings. They reported that although there was a severe thunderstorm warning in effect before the worst of the storm took hold, the actual tornado was embedded in the storm itself. NWS U.S. officials said that they were not hearing any reports of damage or seeing winds near severe criteria at automated sites, so they held off on warnings.
Brian, yesterday we saw a lot of damage out here, and today it is even worse. I can see some of the destruction here behind me at Winona Lake Park. Definitely a scary sight for people who spend a lot of time here. And right now there is still fear circulating throughout the town.
It just sounds like a tree crushing a house, the broken glass and then the splintering.
Joanne Wilcoxon heard that noise as her feet touched the last step to her basement. She made it downstairs just as this tree fell on her home.
I'm really sad to see what happened, but I am thankful that I wasn't hurt and the Lord just did protect me.
Wilcoxon says she was lucky. She happened to turn on the TV and see a severe weather warning, and that was her only warning.
I didn't hear sirens. If they went off, I did not hear them.
No one was quite sure if the sirens went off at all. Not even Sue Goody, president of the town council.
I don't know. We have a half a siren, and it's very sporadic when it works and the areas that it actually covers.
The siren did sound, but only half the speakers up there work. Winona Lake's only tornado siren is broken.
It is? I didn't know that.
And that's not even the worst part. This town actually needs 4 sirens to reach all of the people who live here. ABC 57 first brought you this story back in June.
Well, I am close enough to it that I have before heard it.
The 60-year-old siren continues to weaken. I asked the fire chief to test it, and with a push of a button, the siren blared inside the station. But just a few blocks away, Wilcoxon heard nothing.
No, I didn't hear him.
Tornado sirens went off all over Sedgwick County last night, but they should have only sounded in the northwest part of the county. We heard from a lot of you confused about what was happening. Our big story at 6, Cake's Lily Wu explains.
It was not an accident that sirens were sounded last night. If you live in Sedgwick County, the emergency sirens were activated.
We are trying to minimize that time as much as we possibly can. We do not want to delay getting the warning out. If the system is a delay, we're going to override the system.
And overriding the system is what activated the sirens in Sedgwick County. Emergency Management's deputy director says there was a delay in getting the plots for this polygon or specific area where the sirens needed to sound off, so it was not worth the wait.
The decision was made, instead of delaying the warning any longer, that we sounded all the sirens. That's our option.
Tornado sirens wailed yesterday evening in Ross County without a tornado warning.
And all of a sudden the sirens started going off, the tornado sirens, and we were like, whoa.
Sherry Hedden was staying with her handicapped brother in Frankfort and had to hurriedly move him into the restroom. Then the sirens stopped. It was a mistake.
Are you angry? Yeah, I'm disgusted, actually.
So I went to the sheriff's office for answers. I contacted Ross County Sheriff George Lavender's office this morning to set up an interview for this afternoon. Now, he canceled that, but he did tell me by phone this was a one-time accident, and he was not planning on making any changes. Sheriff Lavender says a female dispatcher saw a severe thunderstorm watch pop up and mistook it for a tornado warning.